right, today I am doing a professional development with eighth grade science and English teachers, and we are going to be covering Standard 1, Learner-Centered Technology and Learning, Standard 1.7, Provide and Promote Ongoing Staff Development for the Learning Community, particularly in the area of integration of information technology, information literacy, and literature appreciation. We will also be covering Standard 2.6, Employ Effective Interpersonal Communication Skills. And today we are going to do a Curipod to talk about these things and go through these standards. So, all right. If y'all will join me, thank you for joining me using this link provided. Appreciate y'all being here. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. We're ready? Let's do it. I was making sure it was still video. Okay. All right. So today we are going to talk about igniting passion for learning, using the library as a hub and teaching ourselves and kids that it's more than just a place to check out books. It's a place where we can go to enhance our learning and collaborate as staff and co-workers by using the library. Please go. Thank you. All right, our objective today, students, you, staff members, will be able to integrate information technology and literacy into teaching using learner-centered strategies to create a dynamic library environment. So, in an effort to help our librarians, we want to know how to do this to also foster that with our students. All right, did you know that schools with well-funded libraries have 10 to 20% higher reading scores? True fact. Libraries play a crucial role in student achievement. What does this make you think or wonder? So, I'm going to give you, I think, 2 minutes. How do y'all feel about that?
Okay.
2 minutes? Okay. All right, I'm going to start that. And it's going to pop up on your screen. Okay. Good job. Great answer. Love it. Natural extension of the classroom. Beautiful. All right, do y'all need more time?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. We get to end this. Okay. All right, so our most interesting answers, we are going to take a vote on that. So you'll see on your screen, you will vote on your most interesting answers, and then those will be displayed for us. And I know y'all are teachers and y'all are fast, so it might not take the whole minute. I get that. Love. Okay.
So fair.
Did you beat her? Number 1 vote. All right. So our top vote, I wonder if libraries are a natural extension of the classroom and allow students a chance to expand on the concepts taught in class. I mean, I feel like that's a great wondering. And what do you mean by like natural extension? Like, will you elaborate?
I guess like
if students know that they can go and get more information at their fingertips, like they have a place to do that other than just online, I think that tangible, it like connects what they're doing in class, is something they can take home and continue even if they don't have technology at home.
Perfect. I love that. Yes, I agree. I think all students should know that it's not just something that has to be done here. All right. I think this also ties into schools having full-time librarians funded, right? They read to kids, pop in classes, are able to foster a love of reading as young as pre-K age. This in turn leads to kids reading more and increasing those scores. Absolutely, I agree with that. It truly is a proven fact that having qualified librarians does increase that reading score, especially at the younger levels. Ooh. Does fostering that literacy, is it an expectation? That's a really great question. Who did that one?
I did.
Okay, perfect. Will you elaborate on that?
Yes.
Thank you.
Just kind of thinking through, like, it goes back, kind of tying it into the other answers too. If you've got those full-time librarians and it's like an extension of the classroom, they're working with teachers in the classroom, then it becomes an expectation. So like,
Oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
they are, like, literacy, a love for reading
Mm-hmm.
is expected.
Right.
Because they are just surrounded by it.
Yeah. So it's being translated easily that the kids know that the librarian is an extension of that learning, not just a, hey, she's the lady that helps me check out books.
Yeah.
And staff members sometimes see it that way too. So I'm glad you said as an expectation.
But like the more involved the librarians are too, and the campus culture, I think helps that.
Absolutely, I agree. Not just putting themselves in there either as just, I'm not an extension, like being seen as I am part of your classroom.
Yeah.
Thank y'all. All right, let's explore. Okay, so when we think about learner-centered teaching, we know that at the heart of all learner-centered teaching is the belief that students learn best when they actively participate in their education. And as educators, we know that, we see that. This approach encourages collaboration, critical thinking, and the integration of technology, which we know is very important to assist in teaching. For example, a history lesson can be enhanced with a digital timeline project where students research and present historical events using library resources. So we know, because we've been teaching, that the library has databases where they can take a digital timeline and use that to transform it into their own, or use that as a way of creating their lives
Well, and
timeline.
the credible resources,
Mm-hmm.
the databases, like the kids they can't always determine what's a credible resource.
Right. And by using those and teaching them to use those, we can show them what is credible and what isn't when they're just searching on Google. All right, so here's what I want y'all to do. I want you to draw how you envision a learner-centered library program. So things you can think of are the interpersonal communication. What skills needed to effectively communicate and engage with others? Information literacy, the ability to identify, locate, evaluate, and use effective information. And a literature appreciation, like just recognizing the value of different forms of literature. So when you think of that, what do you envision as that library and the librarian with staff members and students?
Are we looking at like elementary or middle school or both?
It could be either. Wherever you feel, since we're at a middle school, we could make it to where, what does that look like as a middle school? Because I do think and agree with you that in elementary, it's probably a little bit easier to foster that, where as they get older, it might be more difficult. But I'm going to leave that up to you, whether you kind of see it as more of an elementary or you see it as more of the middle school. Does that kind of answer that?
Yes.
Okay. All right, y'all ready? Y'all think 3 minutes, more or less? Okay. All right.
should. 35
You in.
Yeah. Perfect.
Then we'll vote on your drawings. So you've got about 2 minutes. Do we still feel like we need that time?
Yes.
Okay. Killing it.
I mean,
Killing it. I'm really sticking on this floor. Sorry, y'all. Yes?
just,
Something happened? Okay, I was like, did something happen? Did you get kicked out?
I-
Okay. Alright. Okay, just doing a quick time check. Do y'all need more time? Y'all good? Okay. Y'all are fast. Alright. Alright, so again, we are going to vote. I saw that one.
You.
Oh my gosh, you
I
cracked
won.
me up. All right, our top vote. Okay. Book genre posters, I agree, because I think a lot of times kids confuse where those types of genres are that they need to look for, especially when they're doing specific studies and they don't know how to find that and navigating the library. And then, yes, books, gaming, computers, like it's not just about books. There's got to be things in there that entice the kids to want to come in there and extend their knowledge. Welcome.
Everyone is welcome.
Yes,
I
everyone.
was thinking like their interests needed, like everyone's interests represented in like different sections, and
Mm-hmm.
just kind of, especially if we're thinking about middle school, like what that would look like and to pull them in.
Right. I love that idea of having a little something to offer everyone, not just those kids that are maybe more academically swayed and want and know more about it. Agree? Okay, ma'am.
That was mine. I'm not an artist.
I love it. It was
But
very,
I
it's
like
very
the
creative.
community feel.
Mhm,
I
mhm.
think that's a kind of like college vibe too. And I liked the kids all gathering around like the panel or like whiteboards. I kind of think of it too as like a study hall like vibe or like groups, you know, where they could look up information, talk through things, but like interact with their environment
Right.
in these collaborative. And I like the flexible seating. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I think that gives kids a lot of choice, and it's like they're the center of it.
I love that. And I think that that sticks to what both of our top votes have been so far of it's welcoming for everybody, it gives everybody an area, it's bringing different dynamics together to foster that learning. We're not just a library full of books.
And I like what she said about like the posters and stuff. Like I
Mhm.
think anytime that you could put learning in front of kids, like that's like micro chances of learning.
Yes.
Smart.
Especially at the middle school. Even though they've probably seen those things throughout their elementary career, as they get older, they still need to have, like you said, those little micro doses of,
Citation.
yeah, the citation for sure, learning in front of them. Good job. Little Eagle fan right there. Mm-hmm.
But,
I
okay.
mean,
I feel like we started
I was trying to create that
same idea.
like circular tables and
Yeah.
bookshelves, and that's a whiteboard over there.
Oh, I see what you're putting down. I get it. You're still trying to portray it has a multifaceted area of things to do for kids, not just pick up your book, go sit down and read, or take it and never step foot back in the library.
I almost added the Dewey Decibel system.
I
That's
mean,
not a thing anymore.
We actually still study that and use that, although not all the libraries still use that system.
I was thinking you could add like computers for them to look up
Mm-hmm.
books on their own.
Yep. Having that circulation desk and having an area where kids know how to use that, which can eliminate you having to stand over there, or as a librarian having to stand over there and help those kids that need that.
Yeah.
Very nice. Okay. Perfect. All right, so we know that as we've come into the new digital age, libraries have thoroughly relied on online databases, which, as we stated before, provides a wealth of knowledge and those sources that they know they can trust. By 2010, ebooks and digital libraries started transforming library collections, making them more accessible, which we as teachers want to extend to our kids because that's something they can access year round. So even when they're, summertime on break. Today, libraries are tech hubs offering digital storytelling, coding, virtual reality, and this is helping increase the need and importance of a librarian and the role of the library. All right, so my question for you is, how can you use technology to enhance literature appreciation in your classroom? Even if you're not an English teacher, like I know that's kind of where our minds go, but even as a science teacher, a math teacher, how can literature and technology, how can you use that to enhance those? This job been about 2 minutes. I'm gonna make that. And we're voting again. On a digital work being displayed versus just paper. The floor is very sticky. It's making lots of noises. All right, time check. We still need some time here. All right,
Good.
perfect. Okay. All right, and let the voting begin. All right, votes are in, and we have: consider using technology to help support what students think about the different genres they have read. So we can incorporate that versus just having maybe a written response or them just orally telling us. It could also be displayed digitally, like in a rolling picture format to showcase their digital work. I love that. Okay, it gets them thinking about, all right, what genres have we explored, but also I'm taking the technology I have at my hands to be able to talk about that and display it versus just telling someone. the online stories, yes, the YouTube shorts of story reenactments. I know I've seen those done in classrooms and used in classrooms. I've absolutely loved those. The video responses to literature, I know in our district we use WeVideo a lot, and I know the kids love using that. Yes, the LMS discussion boards as responses. I know our upper grades use Canvas, which I know is great for them to discuss and be able to have that discourse back and forth instead of just always just having to talk. Students can see how adults in various work fields use technology and literature in conjunction together. Love this one too. We're taking the thought of what we're doing in our class that could be used out in the field, and then we are pairing that with these specific people in this field of study use this technology. So if this is something you're interested in, we're making our students interested, or if maybe it's something they never thought of.
Those real world connections, anytime you can make those,
Mm-hmm.
even if it's social media, but they're like, oh, look how many book talks, all those things.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's great. And I love opening up different opportunities to them that they hadn't thought about. Perfect. Okay, so I want you to take a moment to think about innovative library programs. So, what innovative programs can libraries implement to engage students? So, as teachers, we know how to implement strategies in our classroom, but kind of take yourself outside of that and think, how can we as librarians, or how can you as staff members help me as a librarian implement these things for engagement for our students? Okay, effective communication, right? We know that, like you said earlier, it doesn't just need to be, as a librarian, we're just in our library. Mm-hmm. We are seen as an extension of the classroom, almost as another teacher to support those kids. And I'm building a relationship with you and effectively communicating with you. Okay, we're going to skip that for now because I know we're kind of getting low on time.
I love it when the library helps to rally the school together about the power of reading. Those you had challenges on the board and stuff like that, but I think that's a great way to get everybody excited about something.
I agree.
Because they're gonna have different teachers, but the library is a central thing to the whole building too.
Right.
So.
I love that you said that because I know that's something I would want the library to be seen as a central hub for every staff member and every student, not just it's to the side over here.
And it's designed that way, and I think
yes,
that's cool. I like that.
Yeah, literally, like you said, they're designed in the middle of our buildings to be that way. All right, so I want to wrap it up by describe one strategy that you think, as a librarian, I could implement to promote a staff development, so you as a teacher, okay, to help you integrate technology and literature appreciation. So this is why I decided to use a Curipod today, because I wanted to bring something to your attention that you might also be able to use in your classroom. And you're gonna get AI feedback on this response. And I set it to a minute, so if y'all need more time, y'all just let me know. I know the bell's gonna ring soon, so sorry. Thank y'all. Appreciate you being here. Perfect. All right, so if you will look at yours, you're now going to get feedback on your response. So I will have my students use technology for research, find resources the right way, perhaps have the librarian teach them research skills and how to cite correctly. I absolutely love that. That's part of the job of the librarian, to be an extension of that. You did well in identifying the librarian as a research tool. To improve, specify a specific strategy that you would like to promote. Maybe you could do a staff development, or give me an idea of a staff development that we could even pair on together to show that we are collaborative and an extension for our school.
I love that.
Yep.
Perfect. Y'all are wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here and for doing this with me. I appreciate
This is
y'all
great.
so much.
Yeah.
All right,
Thank
and
you.
we
Thank
are
you.
going to end with that. Okay, thank y'all. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
you so much. Thank you, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sirs.
Yep.
I'm gonna wrap this up, and then
Okay.
I will meet y'all.
Thank you.
Bye, y'all. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
All right, so we just wrapped up the lesson on those standards specifically. I did a CuraPod with my teachers to help give them a tool already for technology integration. They gave me wonderful feedback about how we could support the librarian and support the library to help make that a central hub. I love the feedback they gave me. I love what they did on the CuraPod. We ran out of time just a little bit because the bell rang and we have to get to class. So, thank you.